Okay, so we are starting Conan Exiles. This is the expansion, the Isle of Siptah. So I'm just selecting that, starting it.
During the year of the Cobra, a prisoner captured by unknown means was to be transported to the exiled lands. Chained and bound aboard a slave galley out of Argos, the prisoner was carried south under threatening skies. Until fate intervenes.
Alright, here we are, jumping right in. You can choose your gender. It's pretty customizable. I'll kind of go through it a little bit. Nothing too exciting, but you can pick whichever guy you want. You can change the skin tone, you can change the voice. I pretty much think the only important decision at this moment is your religion, just whichever one of those you want to pick, because they have special properties depending on which one you pick. But yes, for the religions, just look through, see what they give you. I like to go with the serpent one. This is the frost giant one. This one is where you eat the flesh of people. This one, the set, that's the one I like to go with. You can get poison pretty early on, and I like to put that on my weapons, and it makes it easier.
The gods are...
Death is coming.
Cut me down, please.
Cut me down, please.
And then here we've got the body features. You know, if you've got the nudity turned on, you can do all that fun stuff, but mine doesn't do that, so we'll just make my guy have some muscles. And then we'll move on to the start location, and this is actually another important part. You have to decide which side of the island you're going to start on. And then obviously there's different stuff on whichever side. I'm going to go with this side right here. It's one of the harder sides, because there's like 2 easy sides, 2 hard sides. I like the hard sides just because there's more resources in those areas, or they're closer to the resources, even though they might be more dangerous to set up in. And so now you start off, you just gotta start picking stuff up. The goal is pretty much to pick up as much stuff as possible, because you are gonna need pretty much everything that you pick up. So the dead bodies on the island are really good, and then those white looking things, those are shells, so you'll eat those for food. And I think like the fastest way to level up is literally just start doing the journey steps up there in the top corner, and some of them are super easy, especially in the beginning, so it's like, why not do them? Like craft tools, climb, use a bedroll, like all of those are super easy, and you can actually do a lot of them very fast, very quickly, and it'll just make your levels go up really fast. So that's what I recommend for that. Always do the journey steps. So I'm just gonna be collecting stuff on the island, getting stuff off these corpses. What's that, a rock? Yeah, got a rock. Yeah, I'm actually gonna collect a lot of the food, because sometimes in the beginning it can be a little hard to get food until you can start hunting things, or later on in the game when you can start fishing. Once you start fishing, it's pretty easy, but for now we'll just pick up some of this stuff. More food, more food, more food. Oyster, oyster, oyster. Okay, lots of food. Go over here. I like to look at the shipwreck stuff. There's lots of boxes with stuff in them. All the dead bodies have supplies in them, so it makes it really easy in the beginning of this one to kind of like get started with a bunch of supplies really quickly. In the original Conan, I think it was a little bit harder. You didn't really have all these dead bodies just laying around full of stuff. You had to actually get out there and start foraging right away. But I mean, there's a lot of that we're gonna do later, so this will just be just to get going. Alright, another box. Yeah, so one of the important things is you gotta make sure that you eat and drink. The first time I played Conan, I didn't know that, and I actually died like 40 times in the first hour of playing, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Nothing's attacking me, what the heck? And I didn't realize that I was supposed to go down there and get water and drink the water, so I kept dying of dehydration. So once you get the hang of that, it's actually really easy to remember to feed yourself and make sure you got water, but in the beginning, if you don't know that, I think it's very difficult because you're like, what am I doing wrong here? So, but it's not that hard. Yeah, I'm just trying to collect everything. You see my my encumbrance, which is the yellow circle, the third circle over on my thing over there. That's how much stuff I'm carrying. So that's how much weight my guy's carrying, and when it gets into the red, that's when you start walking really slow and you can't get away from enemies as easy and stuff like that. So obviously make sure you watch that. In the beginning, when you don't really have anything, it's kind of easy to get stuff. Oh, and then I found this boat over here, and I might do something foolish and try to go attack it, even though I probably shouldn't do that this early in the game. But let's go ahead and see what we got here. So we got a water skin. We need to make some tools. So this is really easy. I just make a couple of each tool. This will also be on your journey steps, so make sure that you do make some tools early on. And then clothes, which you don't really need this early on, but they are one of the journey steps and they give you experience, so might as well. And so I'll just do one of each, that way I can be fully clothed, not looking like some naked stranded man on the beach here. So do that, just kind of use up all of the tools that I have, or the supplies that I've collected over this time. And then I'm gonna need a bedroll, so I gotta make some twine so I can make my bedroll. And the bedroll is pretty important. I like to get that pretty quick in the game, like pretty much right off. I would say there's like the 3 most important things, and that we'll talk about, but the bedroll is actually one of them, because you will use that as a spawn point. So if you die, that's where you're going to end up. If you don't put a bedroll down, you'll just end up back on the beach. So you don't want to have to do that every time, especially once you get further into the land. You don't want to have to run back from the beach all the way. So alright, now we're gonna get some rocks. Use your tools. I'm using the pick so I can get some stones. And then, oh, I forgot that I need to use my experience points, and we've got a lot of stuff. I like to put everything on vitality in the beginning, because what I'm trying to get would be health regeneration. So I usually just put everything on vitality until I get to health regeneration. And then in the skill points, I like to get the fire and weapons going, and then the box for storage, because you're going to be finding a lot of stuff and you're not going to have anywhere to put it and enough room to carry it. So you want to make sure you got some storage early on. So alright, and it looks like my dude is gonna need to eat in a minute, so I will be building the fireplace next, and a weapon. And then a box will be the next thing I build when I have enough stuff for it. So alright, so I got my fireplace. You just put it down in your toolbar, and then you place it wherever it'll be on the ground. You put the food in there, which is going to be the oysters I found, and some wood. Push the play button. I accidentally pushed the wrong button. But yeah, so it'll cook it up. I'm not going to cook that many right now because I'm not trying to set up camp at the beach right now. I'm just going to cook a couple so that I can get my dude's food meter back to green so we don't die of starvation. Okay, So I just pulled everything out of there, and then some of the items you can pick back up. So I'm gonna pick this campfire back up in a minute. Eat the food. It's a journey step. Make sure you always do those. It's like free experience. So, and then my water. I gotta do my water too. So yeah, so you hold E, and then you do the return to inventory. And I like to use items, especially in the beginning, that are able to return to the inventory, because in the beginning you might not be sure where you're going to set up camp, and I like to make sure that I'm not just building things and wasting supplies, and then I'm not even going to be in that area later on. So I did a kick, I did a dodge, just playing around with the buttons, and then I'm crouching down so that I can fill up my water bucket thing there, number 7. You just crouch down in some water and you push the action button, which would be like the E, to interact with things if you're playing on the PC. So now I've got a full water thing, I've eaten, I have a ton of stuff I'm carrying, so I'm not running super slow yet, but I'm about to be in a minute. And then I think I'm going to do something foolish and maybe attack some stuff after I collect some of this plant fiber here. I'm going to move in further into the land. But yeah, so I like to build things that you can pick up, and there's a lot of things you can pick up. So it's like, in the beginning, I think you should build things that you need, that are essential, and not worry about, you know, building a huge base right off until you get where you're going to be settled in. And then also, if you can pick them up, you can carry them and move them around, or if you want to put like more supplies in one area, like you can take a box and drop it in the middle of nowhere and run over there and fill it with stuff, and then you could always come back to that area later if you know that you need certain items in that area, like if you're mining or cutting down trees, you can always keep your stuff here. But I'm gonna be foolish. I'm gonna go over here and try to kill some people because I'm greedy. It's going pretty good, a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Kill his face here, and I'm kind of getting my ass kicked, so I'm gonna run away a little bit. But you know, I got some journey steps, so that's cool, right? I think I did kill one of them. But now I'm running because I'm bleeding to death. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get these guys maybe. They're pretty tough. So over here. Sometimes do that goes running, and then I'll turn around and give them a hit or two. That can be a good method if they're kind of stronger than you. But I think I might die. I was trying to just wrap my wounds because I had made those wraps for the number 6 there, but they don't really work that well when you're running, so you have to actually be standing still in order for those to work. But running away, and I think they stopped chasing me, so I'm gonna stand here and do my wraps, my health wraps there. That's the number 6, the little green roll of stuff. So that's probably another thing that's really important is that you don't regenerate health. That's why I'm always going for vitality in the beginning, because I want to get to that point where either food can regenerate me or my guy will automatically regenerate health, because then you don't have to worry about making those wraps as much as you do in the beginning. So I did that, and I think I might be foolish again, and which I really probably shouldn't even be doing this in the dark. Like, you probably can't even really see. Sometimes I'll like stand somewhere and I'm like, man, it is pitch black. I think I'll run into a crocodile if I keep walking or something. But I think I'm gonna give it another go because it didn't go too bad. I just need to separate them if I can, like make them like one at a time, kind of lure them out, maybe. Alright, so let's see. Let's go back in. Maybe we'll try to see if one will see us. Oh, and I did kill one of them. I think so. There's like a body on the ground. Oh, okay. Got a friend. Oh, he's actually a boss one. He's like a really strong, like, those are the ones you'll collect when later when you can knock him out and make him slaves and stuff. So he's like a boss. That's what that skull means on his life bar there. So it might be behind in a minute because he's pretty strong and I am totally dead. So maybe I shouldn't have worried about that right now. But anyways, okay, so now I am back on the beach because I didn't build a bed. But luckily this little village is literally right here, so I don't know why I'm so foolish, but so that's my body. So I'm playing on the normal mode. You can play on an easy mode and then you don't actually lose your body or like your stuff, but I like to play on the regular mode. So if I die, all of my stuff and everything I'm carrying will be on the body, so you have to go and retrieve your body wherever you died from, which isn't that big of a deal, but it can be super tedious if you die really far away from your stuff. So I'm just reorganizing my stuff, and I'm foolish, so I'm gonna go look over here because I saw a box or something. Okay, so we got some stuff. You know me, just greedy. Ah, I pushed the wrong button. Got some stuff in these crates. And those are emotes. I don't know why didn't mean to push that one. Won't let me open this one for some reason. It's glitching out. Okay, there we go. Oh, and now I'm too heavy. Oh, and they're on me. So I'm gonna try to kill this one. See, I can't walk now because I'm carrying too much rocks because I had to be greedy and grab those rocks. And she's got some peppers that I'm gonna take from her. And so I'm just gonna split my stones in half. And I split them in half again, and I'm gonna drop some of those so that I can move freely now. And then I think, I don't know. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna just maybe run out and find a base now and not worry about fighting these people because some of them are kind of strong. I'll come back and mess them up later when I have more stuff. So I chose the side of the island because it is a little bit harder, but I think you're closer to better stuff. So, oh look, there's people up there standing. I wonder what that's about. I have to go check that out later. So this is on the map. I'm on this side of the island over here. So we're just gonna walk over here into the island and start looking around, see if there is a good place to set up camp. And I pretty much know where I'm going. I want to be close to the water. I'm gonna try to kill this deer. Oh, but he ran away. So I'm not gonna worry about him. I'm not gonna chase him forever. Sometimes I've chased a deer forever and I'm just like, why did I spend so much time chasing a deer? Looks like there's a little path up there you can walk up. But we're not gonna worry about that. We're not exploring, you know, I'm trying to do things in the beginning that you would want to be doing at the beginning, because you have plenty of time, plenty of stuff to look at. So I just want to get in to the islands and see where I'm gonna set up a base. I think, is that water? There might be some water down there. Yeah, look at that blue thing. That's one of the vaults. We'll talk about those later, but there's all these vaults all over the island, and you gotta go in there and do puzzles, and then you get stuff in them. A deer. Okay, so we're gonna go down here in the Violet Isle. So we've discovered a new land. Discovering things also gives you experience, I believe, so just explore everything, because you might get some experience points. So over here, I'm gonna go over to this little island. I always usually like to build my base around water, just because, I mean, later once you get into it, you can build a well, and then you can build it anywhere because you'll have a well with water. But in the beginning, I like to build my stuff around the water, so I don't have to worry about having to run everywhere to get water. So I'm just gonna set up like a small base. So I'm unlocking my foundation, which is so we can construct houses and buildings and stuff, because we'll want to be doing that pretty quick. Okay, and then I'm gonna unlock the bed and the torches, because I don't like to be in the dark. And then we'll spend our attribute points so we can get towards our vitality. I'm trying to get to that third one down, which is the regeneration. Okay, see, and then these are what we can build. So we are just gonna put down our stuff. You don't have to build a base, honestly, right off. You will eventually, but... So I'm just gonna lay down my box, and that way I can put all of these supplies that I'm not using in here. That way I don't have to be like choosing if I'm gonna drop stuff or not. So I'm just gonna put everything in here for now. And then my bed I'm gonna lay down on the ground, and my fireplace. So I'm gonna take my food back out so that I can cook the food actually in the fire. So I'm gonna lay down my fireplace. I've got my box. I'm gonna cook the rest of all of these so that I'll have food and not have to worry about that for a minute. And then I'm gonna lay down my bed. And so these are the three most important things: the campfire, the bedroll, and the wooden box. I think you should get those three things first and then go from there.